welcome back to Federal Focus. Welcome back to week 26. It's great, it's been 26 weeks. We're going to be going over what happened this week. Overall, there hasn't been that much that happened this week, but we are going to go over what happened. It's probably going to be a short video because, quite frankly, I'm just not in a grade. Just don't feel very good right now. So, first of all, let's go over a poll which happened recently, which was a Fox poll, which actually, believe it or not, Fox polls usually are kind of accurate. Sometimes they even lean left, which we saw in one case and not the other one. So there was two polls in Ohio and Michigan when they did. For Ohio, it showed Sherrod Brown, the Democrat, up by 8 points in Ohio. Keep in mind, Ohio is usually a state which there's a big summer bounce for Democrats, so this 8 point doesn't necessarily mean he's guaranteed to win. It's very important because it also does show Vivek up, which is kind of surprising to me. I would have thought Vivek would have done worse for the Republicans, but it's quite interesting. And the other one, this one's very good for Democrats. This one's very good for Republicans. Shows Mike Rogers up by 4 points against Abdul against the person who had the very heated primary a couple weeks ago, or a week ago, or whatever, which I talked about, and how he won by a very slim margin, much less than people were expecting. So this was an interesting poll which released. Usually it was pretty surprising, and they also had a main poll which they did, which showed Collins only down by 2. So it's probably not bad for her, but obviously you want to be leading. But obviously she does overperform a lot, but it is a very interesting poll to say the least. And I'm just going to go over some primaries which are going to happen recently. And I basically just mean the big Florida primary, which, and Wyoming apparently, I didn't know there's that many. There's also an Alaska one, which is kind of going to be interesting because they have a weird system which they do. I don't really want to explain it. Basically, everyone runs together in the Democrat and Republican parties at once, and the top two advance. It'll probably just be Dan Sullivan and Mary Peltola. But for Florida, a lot of interesting stuff. There's a lot of interesting Republican primary races. One of them, I believe, has 2 former congressmen, which is kind of crazy to think about. I believe I remember it was the 19th district. Yeah, so this has so many people in it. So Loff is a favorite. She's Trump endorsed, but there's also 2 previous ones which were congressmen. So this is going to be a crazy primary. Maybe there'll be at least 5 people with at least maybe 10% of the votes. It's going to be crazy, to say the least. But one I'm most interested in is a Republican primary for Florida governor. Also, keep in mind, I don't know if it's correct or not, but I saw information which showed that this primary Republican votes, early votes, were very not young voters. It was mostly older voters. So I don't think that's to be I think that's to be expected because it's early vote, but it's interesting to see. So in this, Brian Donalds will likely win, probably likely win by a lot. But I'm just here to watch James Fischbach likely lose. However, to be honest, considering the polling misses before, I'm just not calling this race because I don't know what's going to happen. But Brian Donalds will likely win. And Fischbach has been claiming basically, I'm just a side note, this is just Pollster, TPSI, Pollster, Public Institute. They are basically a Groper pollster. They're aligned with Fischbach. They've been showing him tied or ahead in a lot of polls. I am so ready to get their ass kicked. Alright? I am so ready for them to get this so wrong because it's so funny. As you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, most show him at like 15%. Not them. They show him like nearly ahead. So they're going to be dead wrong in my opinion. Now, I may just eat my words, but I think he's going to get like maybe 20%, and I think Donalds is going to get like 50. That's my prediction, although I could be wrong. But they show Fischbach at like 35 and Donalds at 35, so yeah. This is going to kill a lot of pollsters' reputations. In fact, Fischbach, he probably will get second, but there's a chance he gets third behind Jay Collins. But yeah. And in the Alaska Senate race, I kind of forgot when I was here. You know what? We'll ignore this one. But Caroline Levy, the White House press secretary, is leaving apparently because she's apparently, requires kids. Apparently kids require attention. This is news to me, of course. I didn't know that kids needed attention, but yeah. She's resigning, and we don't really know who will be in her place. So that'll be interesting to see. And Luigi Mangione pleaded guilty, which for some reason was surprising to some people. He is in fact guilty. I know. It's not like there's video evidence of it. But that's going to be all for today. Thank you guys for watching in day 26.